Beta Ray Bill, the character in Marvel Strike Force, got even better with this last-minute rework. How good is this character? Is this now a Dark Dimension 6 character? Also, speaking of Beta Ray Bill, the player Beta Ray Bill made his decision on the 100 shards that everyone is going to receive from completing Dark Dimension 6. Are these good characters? Are they going to benefit you? We're going to discuss that as well. And the Horseman events, they are finally coming back. Everybody's been asking when. Well, it is very soon, but they're going to be different when they come back. Is it going to be better or worse? We're discussing all of that and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I'm joined by my brother, Dorky Dad. If you're ready for it, brother Dorky Dad, let him know what to do.
Let's pony up and go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Marvel Strike Force fans. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day. We're discussing all the latest in this video, all the latest in Marvel Strike Force. Beta Ray Bill, the player, Beta Ray Bill, the character, the Horseman events. They are coming back, but will they be better or worse when they come back? We're discussing that at the end. And discussing all with me is my brother, Dorky Dad. How have you been, Dorky Dad?
I've been doing very good. We had a couple technical issues, but we're back up and running now. And I think it's the perfect time because Marvel Strike Force is on a really big upswing right now.
I think it is. Everything I've been seeing is very, very good. Obviously, there's still some bugs. There was a bug last night with Nexus that we're going to discuss, but everything else seems pretty good. What is your favorite part of some of these announcements that have been made over the past few weeks? I've not made a news video in a while, so this is the #1 catch-up video. So what are some of the big things that you're enjoying in the game? Some of these changes that you've seen over the past week?
#1 has got to be the reversal on Cosmic Crucible. Cosmic Crucible is right now watching the same show over and over and over again. And as someone who likes to upload Cosmic Crucible videos all the time and likes to do it on stream with people, it is very, very dull and boring. So the fact that they're looking to revive it with no more cookie cutter nonsense, and they're no longer going to make us use Masters of Evil against War Dogs, Wakanda, whatever you want to call it, the team, I'm super happy about that.
I don't even plan out my announcements. I have my teams for that one. I just know, oh, that's going to be Masters of Evil. They're using that Wakanda room, so I'm looking forward to that as well. The Ultimate 32 was so good, and I think it gave them insight into how much fun that game mode can be. But let's talk about the rest of the news. Beta Ray Bill, the player, has made an announcement of his 100 shards that he's going to give to players, and we had a lot of characters to vote for. The winners are on the screen right now. Infinity Watch Thor, which I didn't get a lot of shards for in his event. Same thing with Star-Lord Annihilation. How happy are you with the selection of characters? And considering that nowhere is going to be required for upcoming legendary that we don't know, I think I'm happy with this. Are you happy with what was selected by the player base?
I'm super happy with what was selected, and I'm also very surprised that they would choose the War Offense team, regardless of it being used for legendary, because if you don't get character shards for the next trial or whatever, nobody else does either. So it's kind of a zero-sum game on the advantage front. But I'm super happy because these were some of the only characters I didn't have at 7 stars that were listed.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And you know what? Even if you're not getting an advantage over another player, as long as more people get to unlock the legendary and play with a new character, I think that's a good thing. So I think this is great that it has happened. And speaking of Beta Ray Bill, we got some changes made to the in-game character Beta Ray Bill. I know it's getting very confusing for some players out there talking about the player Beta Ray Bill and the character Beta Ray Bill. Well, the character Beta Ray Bill got a rework, and here's some of the highlights here. Reduce energy cost, the special and the ultimate, so that is better. You could use those a little bit more. The basic now is going to generate ability energy to utilize the special and ultimate a little more. The special ability is changed. That's going to benefit not just Bifrost, but all cosmic allies. And that's bringing that Threorycrafting back that we talked about that's been missing for a little while. Raid specific requirements in the ultimate and passive. Looks very good. A charge mechanic, and this is a strong one. How do you feel about the charge? Well, I'll ask you when we get there, but I'm liking that charge mechanic, what he does. And the non-summon requirement for ultimate ability is getting more value with summon characters. Now you could get the benefit Loki, Hela, specifically Greg and those mirror images. All right, so the basic now, it's getting ability energy every time it's used, not just the basic, but the Iso-8 counter attacks assist chance. Is he now a striker in your opinion because of this?
I think I do think he's a striker now, especially outside of raids. But in raids, him popping off on his abilities more often is going to be great. This change is good. I'm distressed from it because it's changing. It changes the whole team dynamic and on the ISOs for the other characters. So now I have to rethink Sylvie. So I was gonna have Sylvie as a striker, but now I much prefer Beta getting energy than her doing like a very small turn meter rewind. So I need to decide between Sylvie, Raider, Skirmisher now. Team Loki and Loki, both their ISOs don't matter. So I'm just putting Scrim on both of them. And Val, I hear a lot of people going like they're going Val Raider now. I still don't see that because I would much prefer her get more exposes out there, which she does on her counterattack, so you're getting a lot there. But she also does on her ISO attack that she will do on the follow-up from her ultimate, which does not put the expose out. So it kind of flipped it on its head, but it's also just kind of a swap between Sylvie and Beta, at least for me. So I think it's great, but yeah, I like Striker.
Now with these changes, have you been able to, are they live on the test server? Because I haven't really been on that for a little while. It's kind of tedious, as you know, to try to get just a test of viability. And even when we do that, we're not at the highest level raid. So I don't know if it even is a good test there. Are these changes live on the test server? And have you played around with these ISO-8 classes for each of these characters?
They are live on the test server. I haven't played around with the ISOs for them, but I do believe our friend Mobile Gamer has a video out going through them on 1.6 on the test server. So people should go check that out for sure.
Nice. Okay. The special Thunderclap, it is now getting these deflects to all cosmic allies, not just Bifrost allies. And something weird here with the wording, it looks like this is the only thing that's happening here, but it's still doing this big damage, 420% damage, stunning the primary target, taunting as well. And then just that last line got changed there. How impactful do you think the special is going to be now that's 5 out of 5 instead of 6 out of 5?
Oh, it's huge. Now that we're going to be able to get that stun, and he's going to be able to probably use it every other turn with getting energy. You're going to be stunning everyone in the raids, which is great. And outside of the raids, you'll probably be able to get this special off more than once, which with the old rules without getting the energy, I think you would get it off once per match max. So I think this is very cool, and it's a big part of why he's better plug and play now.
I'm not thinking this is going to affect Arena too much. Cosmic Crucible, there's a very limited team. I'm thinking the main benefit in this is War. Is that where you're seeing this benefit for this special rework?
That is 100% where I'm seeing this whole beta raid bill rework coming in. And I'm going to be dragging you to do a War video looking over this team on War defense when we're done here.
Oh, I like this. I like it. Okay, yeah, there's so many options of War defense. That the Asgardian call out, not just summon, non-summon Asgardians, the cosmic call out on this, and then his passive as well. Yep. The battleship scuttlebutt, now just normal Asgardian. Do you think, how big of an impact do you think that this change to this ultimate is going to make towards Greg or one of these minions? Is it now proper to place him on a team with maybe Ella, Loki on War defense or War offense?
Yeah, I don't think, as we're going to see, I don't think he's great, going to be like greatly impacting the War defensive scale. But I do think he can affect the offensive side with a team like Undying. Now, who will use them against? That's kind of up in the air, but I'm sure we're going to find lots of cool things to do with Beta Ray Bill with this, with the rework.
I wonder if they could take out those black orders, those annoying black orders that I only could use my Wakandans, and if my Wakandans are too small, then it doesn't even work.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, this is for me the most exciting part of the passive, of the rework is the passive, because he now has a charge mechanic. So a lot of the stuff are staying. You're getting the defense up for 2 turns. That is normally just, or before it was just in the raids, getting the 2-turn defense up, 3 death proofs, and this is going to be Bifrost and Hero Asgardian allies. This is where I think the war bonuses are going to get that, because now it's Hero Asgardian allies and not just Bifrost allies, and it's not just in the raids as well. When he drops below 50% max health, he's still gaining that taunt. That is unchanged. Val dropping below 50% max health, he was getting a healing of himself before. That was just in the raids. Now it's outside of the raids. On any crit, this is the exciting part, gaining a charge, not just for himself, but for all allies. And what that's going to do, well, when he has 4 more charged on any character's turn, the enemy with the highest health is going to be attacked for 200% damage. Defense down to that character and losing those 4 charges, which means every 4 crits This guy is applying some defense downs to the highest health enemy and doing some damage. I like that. What is your favorite part of this passive rework? Is it the same like mine's in this crit, or is it extending some of these bonuses to other game modes? What is your favorite part of this passive rework?
My favorite part is the on-spawn buffs. So the defense of Death Proof and Deflect going to Asgardians is crazy, because this basically says like Heimdall kick rocks. Okay, like Heimdall, we don't need your defense up on spawn anymore. Actually, I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna give Death Proof and real deflects, not the fake boosting deflect. So it's hard to land abilities on these guys now at the opening. So I really like that. As far as the charge goes, it's super cool. As you'll see later, it looks super cool when he does it too. There's the actual animation to it. As far as its impactfulness, now it's attacking the highest health enemy. So it's like going for a tank, which isn't super useful, but at least it gives defense down and it helps you tear through those characters a little bit faster. So I do think it's impactful, but it's not game breaking, which is really cool. And I mean, like, anytime people are interacting with crits, I get to use my dad bros and do some testing, which is always fun. So
I forgot about them. Yeah, they get a lot of crits. Last question about Beta Ray Bill. With these changes, I know on its surface doesn't seem like a Dark Dimension 6 character, but Val is a Dark Dimension 6 character. Do you think the bonuses that he has with Val makes him strong enough to be a Dark Dimension 6 character with all those bonuses that Val has, or it's just not enough?
Is he the best character bringing Dark Dimension 6 with these changes? No. I mean, like, you're definitely still better off bringing the Eternals as far as Dark Dimension 6 goes. But, I mean, it's Beta Ray Bill. So first, he's really cool. Raid character. He does only cost 3 pieces. So he's a 66 cost, which I believe is the same as the Eternals. So it's kind of like if you're deciding on efficiency in Dark Dimension, I've heard the Cosmic section is really hard. It's hard to justify him over the Eternals for that reason. But I think with the raids, and this team should last like through the next set of raids too. Like, right, the next set of raids, Rebirth is probably going to get kicked to the curb. We're going to get a new bio team. So I think that this team is going to be safe for at least like a year and a half. So having them bigger, I think it just adds to your ability to maybe sim the nodes, which this team looks to uniquely be able to do. So
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. I do like him for Dark. I jumped the gun and said, like, I'm bringing him. I'm starting to second guess it. But I don't hate it.
It's for that bonuses with Val, I think, because Val has all those Dark Dimension 6 Dark Dimension call outs, and he's got the synergy with Val. That's where my mind was going with this. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll let you test it, Dorky Dad, and let me know how it goes.
Will do.
All right, we had the Nexus campaigns live last night. Now, I didn't know about it until this morning, so I did not go in and test this out. Were you able to go in and test any of this out?
No, I was hanging it with my kid, and it didn't appeal to me to get in there quickly.
I might have tried it out if I knew, but yeah, I'm busy at night and at dinner with the kids and all that stuff. So I didn't get this test out, but I heard the reason that this got pulled was because this is what the enemies were looking like in the hard section of Nexus. Got these less than 20,000 characters, and people were going through this, blowing through it very, very quickly. What do you think they're gonna do? I mean, we had Absorbing Man as one of these characters in there. What do you think they're gonna do as response to this? Are they gonna allow it to be open a lot sooner, or are they just putting the final touches on these characters and putting the correct power levels and stuff, or are they gonna do nothing?
I would expect no compensation for this. Like, this is not like Gold Gate or the Orb offers that gave 20K for Gear Tier 14. Like, this is kind of like a nothing burger to me. It's just not the end of the world. Somebody got to farm the Absorbing Man 5 times more than you did one day, and he got 0 shards because the drop rates are Marvel Strike Force drop rates, right? So it doesn't matter. And as far as like the enemy power level goes, if they're going to be based off history, like the Villains United and the Heroes United, they'll probably make them like 32,000 powered characters, because they've been making these chapters free. They've been free to just sim through. You'll probably throw your War Dogs out.
What are these characters? Oh, they're like 90-ish or so. All right, they're not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad. It was straight auto, and I'm assuming Nexus is going to be the same way. This is their way to be able to put Gear Tier 17 on nodes for people to farm, and that's all it is. It's not supposed to be difficult. You're supposed to walk through it, so I just don't see a big issue here.
All right, when are you predicting it's going to come out? Later this week, sometime next week? How much of a preview was this going live?
Oh, who knows? Like, we got the Gamma 4.4, 4.5, like a year and a half or something before they actually wanted it to go out. So,
well, it's supposed to come sometime in this update, right? So it should be sometime in this update. I'm gonna say
like tomorrow.
Next week Tuesday we're getting this. I hope it's tomorrow. That'll be even better, my guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be long.
Next thing we have going on. Now we're gonna get more to this blog post talking about all these cool changes, but I did want to talk about the month-long event. There's no leaderboard for the month-long event. That is changing. And I guess the good thing is no more orb hoarding, but the bad thing about that is less Iso-8 in our inventory. And for myself and everybody that's trying to get that big boy apocalypse, that's one of the big sticking points. Getting the Iso-8 for these characters to gear them up to fully max their Iso-8 So how big of an issue is these less leaderboards? I'm hearing that they're getting significantly less Iso-8 across most of the players. The top end, I think, are still getting a lot of the Iso-8 but what are they going to do to compensate for the less Iso-8 from those leaderboards? How are they going to make that up in other areas, or are they not? We're just getting less Iso-8
Yeah, we've been getting a lot less, and it's really noticeable. Even the ones that they do put on the leaderboards, they're no longer giving like 900,000 for top 1%. They're giving 300,000. Like, what they've done is they've hard pivoted away from Iso-8 as the main reward on these leaderboards to gear tier 18 as the main reward, because super-skrull now, right? But what they failed to realize is they were so stingy with Iso-8. There's so many people who have not unlocked Big Boy Apocalypse, and then there's also no place to get Iso-8 after that. So even the people who do have Big Boy Apocalypse, we're not getting a lot. We're getting it from war. We're getting like 100K per war or something super minimal like that. It feels like they just completely moved on without thinking about it at all. Or maybe they're just trying to figure out, because it's still a valuable resource, where to put it. And I think that's obvious. Like, you put it in Crucible rewards, right? How is that not what they've already done? Put Iso-8 in Crucible, so you get it from war, you get it from Crucible, you have a steadier climb. I don't know what's taking them so long on that. It's really bad though. Like, it's definitely increased the value for people who did get Big Boy Apocalypse when they did before this change happened, the shift towards gear tier 18. But for everyone else, it's just awful.
Now, the weird thing is that Big Boy Apocalypse seems significantly better than super-skrull. It's almost like with the changes that they made to Big Boy Apocalypse, I guess from the complaining from Tadano Mac, that it wasn't rewarding enough. I think they went overboard with it, and now Big Boy Apocalypse significantly better than the next legendary character, the next big legendary character in super-skrull. Is that fitting? Should he have been tuned back, or is super-skrull bad and they need to make him better? What is the solution there?
super-skrull is not bad. Okay, listen, guys. This is what y'all did last time. You said Apocalypse was bad, and now Apocalypse has a turn 1 flip everything trauma into 100% turn meter, punches you for 100% of your life. 60% of that is flat. You cannot resist that. He gets offense up, and he kills you. Do not make them do that to super-skrull as well. For the love of God, don't do that, okay? super-skrull is fine. I've been facing super-skrulls in war defense against Batwalk's team. He's fine. Don't worry about his kit. Do you know that in his kit, he gets speed bar for every single buff the enemy gets and every single negative effect his team gets? He's going as fast and as many times as Quicksilver does, okay? Don't complain about super-skrull. It's insane what he does. But
oh my goodness, I love that passion, Dorky. I opened a can of worms that I'm glad that I opened. I wasn't expecting that answer. That was awesome, dude.
We don't want another Apocalypse, okay? Yes, Apocalypse is amazing. We don't need Skrull to be like that.
All right, well, I don't think they need to save the player beta rebuild from quitting, because I don't think they're going to go super overboard with super-skrull like they did with Apocalypse, and Tadano Max still left because of that. So that is where he's at right now. We do need more Iso-8, put it into Cosmic Crucible, but yeah, I guess a big Apocalypse being that much better than super-skrull is just going to be how it is. Let's talk about some of these events going on right now. Let's talk about this first one that I think is very, very easy. It is for this Loki. All you need to do is score within the top 250 of your arena, and you get this Loki unlocked. And even more, shards for Loki, getting more stars for him. If you have some good RNG with these orbs, which I've been getting, but there is a minimum drop of 0, so you could potentially get 0 shards for this. What do you think of this event? The difficulty to get the unlocked, the difficulty to get more shards. What do you think of this event in total?
I feel like I'm in a bubble because I'm in the top 10, so I'm getting the 9,000, which is great. You said that the top 250 will get the monthly items, so that means like
yeah, everybody within the top 250. If you do that for the entire run of this event, I believe it's 7 days, you should get the Loki unlock here, which is 45 shards, which is not a lot, but it's still the unlock.
Okay, does that get you the monthly item, or is the monthly item gotten sooner?
It's before it, yeah. So the monthly item's at 10, the Loki unlock comes at 12. So
okay. You had me worried for a second. I was like, oh my god, is there going to be like everyone after 250 is not getting the monthly item? Okay.
There's no Iso-8 in this stuff, but I guess all the way down. No, even not there. There's no Iso-8 in this, but yeah, you will get Loki.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not so bad. I will tell you my experience opening my orbs this morning. I pulled 46 Emma shards and 0 Teen Loki from my morning payout. It was
did you get all golds when you opened them?
Yes, all golds. I got 20 Emma twice on a gold drop, and I was like, that would have been great. What, 3.5 years ago? How is Emma in this orb? I kind of get Weaver in there. I kind of get the Eternals in there. Why is Emma in this orb? It blows my mind.
I guess I don't want to tell you what I got this morning. I got him unlocked and I started doing the missions for him. So that I'm getting pretty lucky on with these. So.
Nice.
But it does suck that there's a minimum of 0. I think with all these orbs, there usually is a minimum of 2. There should at least be a minimum for this. Other than that, I do enjoy this event. It's not that difficult to complete. Just do your arena battles and you should be pretty good.
Yep.
Now, what I thought was difficult to complete, and obviously this is because my Teen Loki is so low, but we talked about this. I got into this. I got the unlock for Loki, and I could not complete these. We got AoE after AoE coming up, and my Teen Loki dies. Were you able to complete these with your Teen Loki, and how big did he need to be so he doesn't get blown up by the AoEs that happen on these nodes in the beginning and the taunts that can put on him and all that stuff?
My Teen Loki is bigger now than what he was. I want to say he was like level 75, gear tier 14.
Oh my goodness, mine's just getting blown up. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Well, my new warriors are huge. My new warriors killed everything before anything moved.
Oh, yeah, mine's didn't. So anyway, I thought it was a good event. It's always just free bonus stuff, but I thought the difficulty could have been.
It was harder.
Reduced. Yeah,
it was harder.
I'm only 70. Okay, so I've got a few more levels to go. But yeah, 50K. Then he's just getting blown up by everything.
Yeah. There you go. What I would say is like those last nodes don't matter. Farming the gear tier 17, it's like a 0.01% drop rate. I'm sure of it on the gear tier 17. I'm just farming the first 3 nodes on the origin gear.
Yeah, I usually wanting this stuff, but I noticed that I'm low on this, so I would want to farm some of this augmented sigil and the mythic geode and stuff like that. But yeah, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter too much. All right, what does matter though is this Warzone event. So we went from an event that I think is very easy to a very, very tough event. Now the good thing is that this event, there's no meta item in it. So, and then it's pretty easy to get some of this stuff that leads to the meta item. But this stuff I think is important. This is how we're supposed to be getting our Iso-8 5 for Apocalypse, but this is very, very hard. You got to battle with your alliance, earn alliance credits, and one of the big things with these alliance-wide events that I've been hearing a lot of complaints for, very, very hard on alliance leaders. There's getting some burnout with alliance leadership. What are you hearing on your end with these top-end alliances? How frustrating or how easy is it for top-end alliances in these alliance-wide events?
It is not easy. It is very stressful. In fact, you bringing this up reminded me that I needed to go into the store and buy those war credits in the
I forgot to do that too. I gotta make sure I do that before the next reset. I keep forgetting to do that.
That's it. I think I forgot this one because that was a big thing. It's like, hey guys, like we are being competitive in this. We want to get all of it. So it's like, okay, well now we have to look at spending money, and the same thing in the last one too. It was like organizing it for the Loki crowns, making sure people participated, and there was the issue with it being an old asset, so it was showing what you had from whatever the event before, and then it was like, hey, like how many crowns do we need? Is energy? So it's this whole super complicated endeavor on your alliance leaders, and then there's shame involved and embarrassment. It's like, okay, guys, like we're like, okay, like I hate to do this, but we need to see like everyone's participation in this to make sure nobody is like carrying the load for everyone. It's like, okay, like yeah, here, and that's just a fact that you're in, and it's preying on that. I think for super casual alliances that look at this and they say like, look, I'm not taking the bait. That's it. Like, we're just going to do what we do, and whatever happens, happens. I think that is the only healthy way to look at these alliance-based events.
Like, hey, we're getting some gold. Will we get these awesome orbs? Probably not, but we're getting more gold, and I guess that's a good way to look at it. Not stress enough. Is there a solution though for the alliances that wanted to get competitive and not burn out their leaders trying to figure all this stuff out? Is there a happy medium, or is it all one or all the other?
For alliance-based events, if you're putting a leaderboard on it, then it's always going to be predatory, right? Because there's going to be a function to spend money to rank higher on the leaderboards. It's just the way leaderboards work. If it's an event like this, where it doesn't have leaderboards, and I think about old alliance events, like we had the coordinated assault. Why do we not have coordinated assault for ISO-5? What, that just hit me. Why do we have coordinated assault for ISO-5?
What is going on? They're like, all right, we're gonna give you all the stuff you guys want from the player's voice, but you know what? We're not giving you ISO-5. We're gonna be selling the crap out of that. That's how we're gonna monetize this game. But everything else, yeah, you guys get more gold, more training mats. Maybe that's your monetization strategy. And I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it worth to trade off all these good changes that we've had just for less ISO-5?
No, that's something that they need to be called out on, and I'm sure EvDog and Beta Ray Bill will call them out on that.
I hope so. They need to.
Yeah.
All right. Good things, yes. All three of them doing a great job, and we're already seeing some awesome changes to the game as a result of all their efforts. So shout out to you guys and everybody else in the player's voice that's behind the scenes working for that. More permanent legendaries. We had Adam Warlock, we've had Phoenix, we had Jubilee, all added to the permanent schedule, which means that all legendaries now are permanent except for the Horseman and except for Omega Red. All of the old legendaries are now permanent. How long ago should they have done this?
Adam, so up to Omega Red should have been permanent by the time Rogue was released in the Scourge. Like, I understood they were holding on to this, but the second they pivoted to the Scourge structure, which is way better, way more player friendly for everybody.
Oh, yes.
They should have said, like, okay, all the old legendaries, take the gates down, put them as permanent events like the Crossbones and the Electra, let people get it. They still got to build the teams up, drop their stars. Maybe they should have dropped the stars by one right away and then dropped it by another one after a few months, just to make it easier. You don't want these gates for your new players. Like, nobody coming to the game now should be stressing about farming Omega Red for when he pops up. Omega Red should just be there. It's very silly, in my opinion, and it should have happened a long time ago. But I'm happy to see it's happening now. Yes. And they take it. The guys, why not Omega Red? He's not that good in War anymore. I promise you. There's so many better teams that you've released. He's not top 5 team anymore. Okay, just give people Omega Red. It's ridiculous.
He's a good plug and play for Cosmic Crucible. He's kind of like in that Shang-Chi plug and play type area, but yeah, not what he used to be. Not taking out whole teams like he used to. But this is good. This is good.
But do you know where Shang-Chi is? In the Blitz store. Shang-Chi's in the Blitz store. So they're the same level. Make Omega more available for people.
That's okay. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Make him available. He's a plug and play character now at this point. So why are you holding him back? Same thing with Jubilee and Black Bolt and some of these other ones that just made available. I'm glad they are. They should have been a long time ago. I'm curious to see what is going to happen with these Horseman legendaries. We're going to talk about some of the changes that potentially coming, but we got 2 new options here. We got 2 new quality of life options. One, okay, I don't know if I've used this. I've had it on, and the vibrating device act. Have you used this thing at all when the device vibrates? I've not noticed that.
I haven't even read it. What is it doing? It's
okay. So vibrate device, if inactive after loading screen completes and combat completes on supported device, this feature will assist in reminding you of your activity when your attention is diverted away from your device. So if you put your phone down and it loads finally, or your battle's complete, well, then it's gonna buzz is what it should do.
I feel like they should have been putting their efforts into something much different than that, but okay.
All right, well, then we got a new roster trait filler, and this is a pretty good one. If you go into the game right now and you click on their traits here, well, you could go look at all the Bifrost allies, and that's pretty cool. You could do that with any character. If you want to go look at your proud characters from Loki, you got all the proud characters here. You want to look at your unlimited X-Men from Phantom Base, you got them all right here. So I think that's a good change, and it went live. I like it.
Yeah, I've not experienced that either, and that is good. I like that a lot.
All right, so that's a good thing. All right, let's get to some of these big topics here. We touched on them a little bit, but let's go right down them because I've discussed it with mobile, but I haven't discussed this on a weekly news update. All right, so one of the big things here coming in July, and again, this is a direct result of the Players' Voice Council. So if you guys are leaving your thoughts in the polls, letting them know it's all you guys are contributing to this. So slower character releases and more reworks. Earning 3 characters per month, which is the historical average. It was at 4 per month, and a more predictable schedule of when character shards become more accessible after release. They also say that these characters are in a rotation already. It takes about 6 or 8 months. So these changes might be slow. Also expect updating on more reworks on one of our older characters to respect the long-term investment. How good is this? We're getting a slower release. We're getting a predictable schedule of characters and then more reworks coming.
Yeah, look, this is amazing, and it particularly benefits long-term veteran players, right? Like a rework team, if you already have them up to level 85 or something, like if say Infestation aside, say Pimtech got a whole rework, and you already had them at level 90, gear tier 18 because you were forced to do the Gamma Lane, then something like this greatly benefits you. But let's not kid ourselves. Like new players, it's still 5 new characters to them they need to build up. So I think
for the reworks,
yeah, I think this is great. I really do. And so if we only have 3 new characters and then like 5 reworked characters, well, for new players, that's still 8 new characters to build up. So I think they still need to make an avenue where those reworked characters cost less to build up, or some sort of medium there, so that we're really making sure that this kind of change benefits everybody. But selfishly, I'm super happy about this. I mean, reworks are great for an account like mine.
Yeah, and reworks are always great, I think. Other than needing a lot of gear. I remember back when they did the Magic and they did Madeline Pryor, and like, oh, we got to build up this whole team now just for this one character. And I thought that was their strategy for going away. But yeah, I do like this, especially with the predictable schedule of character shards becoming more available. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with that. They haven't really done anything with that yet, but this is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. All right, more gold. How are you doing with your gold since we've gotten more raw rewards? I think I've noticed a little bit more gold in some of these events. I haven't really needed to open gold orbs until this morning for a long time, since the last gold hoarding event. So it seems like we're getting more gold. What is your experience with gold at your high level of play? Is it still a major bottleneck, or has it been eased up more?
The gold bottleneck is eased up for sure, and it just opened up a different bottleneck. Like we are gonna get rank 1 war probably every other season, if not rank 1, rank 2, 3. Like we're gonna be getting millions of gold. We got 10 million gold last season. Nice. And immediately I spent it, and then the next day I started building on my gold surplus, and now I have no training materials, so I can't level a single character anyway. But so I was started to be able to buy like a piece of Mystic Gear 18 here and there from the gold store without feeling too guilty about emptying my gold stash. And yeah, like you, like I have my gold orbs hoarding up now, because we'll talk about hoarding orbs in a second. But training orbs, I'm dead on, just dead.
How are you hoarding your orbs? Because I'm still hoarding them. But when I need it, I'm opening 10 at a time. And I'm like, all right, that's enough for right now. And that's mainly because I just don't want that 20 million gold sitting in my inventory and then I could just spend it. I want to actually have to do a 2-step process. How are you hoarding your gold orbs?
Like every single one. I'm up to like 45 or something like that. Okay. The thing is, like, sure, that's gold just sitting there, not really doing anything for my account. But even if I open them all, I couldn't do anything with the gold that I want to do, because all I want to do is level characters, because that level 90 to 95 stat jump is it's like the value of putting 2 gear tiers on a character. And we're talking like late gear tiers. That's like gear tier 14 plus 15 kind of value you get out of that. So I'm hoarding all my gold and training orbs. I'm opening them as I go, and I know that's going to bite me in the butt as soon as August hits, but it kind of is what it is.
Do you think they're gonna go back on this in August? They said nothing is coming in July in this video, and I think that would be a lot of backlash if they did go back and say, hey, in August we got some hoarding events for gold and stuff. Do you think they're gonna go back and it's just a temporary thing for no hoarding events, or this is now permanent, at least for the gold and training events, orbs?
They once said on a permanent statement they don't want players hoarding. And then in the last like 6 months, they ran 15 orb gold and training orb opening events. And now
let me correct on the training. They said that I think that was a Cerebral message in the Envoy chat. I don't think that was said publicly, because I did go look for that, because I was like, they said that, and I looked for it. I don't think they actually said that publicly. I think that was Cerebral in a DM that message got out and everybody saw it. So okay. I don't think they did say that publicly. They're saying it now though. So if they say that now, it's different than before.
But they've quantified it now. They've quantified it to the month of July. So that type of, and honestly, Reddit sleuths, get to Reddit, find the post where they said they don't like hoarding and the orb opening events are no like. I swear there was a blog about that. You guys are way better than
I was looking for it. I thought so too, and I was like, hey, they said this, and I couldn't find it. All I could find was a screenshot of a DM that Cerebral put in the Envoy, not a DM, but a message he put in the Envoy chat. That's the only place I saw that message. So. I don't think it was said publicly.
I'm looking at you, Steven. You know who you are. You go find that message for me and Valley.
Yeah. Hey, diggers, if you could find that, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was said publicly, but I couldn't find it. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you could find something that they said publicly. I believe it was a DM though. Yeah. Anyway, this is different though. This is very different.
Yeah, it is. I do think they're coming back though. I think hopefully they have some common sense though, and they give us a warning, and they don't attach a leaderboard to it.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
and we've already seeing less leaderboards in this month. Yeah. I think they said there's gonna be 3 leaderboards as opposed to like 8 leaderboards the previous month or something like that. So this is a good thing. All right, this is the one I know you're excited about. I know every player of Cosmic that enjoys Cosmic Crucible is excited about this as well. More Threorycrafting coming back, and they specifically mentioned season 4. They're not gonna do that cascading thing that was kind of teased, where they're moving to putting 2 new rooms, and every room is moving down.
Yeah,
it's gonna be more Threorycrafting, more like the Ultimate 32. I know you talked about the content. How excited for you as a player are you though for these changes, being able to just play Cosmic Crucible and not have the same rooms, the same exact thing every single time?
Oh, it's gonna be way better. Like, I don't like logging on to do raids. And Cosmic Crucible is starting to feel like that. Cosmic Crucible is starting to feel like logging on to do your raid lane. And I really don't like that. So I'm super excited for this. And then there's always the creativity of the community really catches you off guard. Let's not overhype it in the sense that there's going to be optimal teams. By the end of a season or even the midway season, people are going to find the optimal team for whatever that room design is. So it's going to get back to it, but it should take longer to get to that. And as long as, like you said, they're not doing the cascading thing and every single season, bam, 6 new rooms, then I think it maintains its freshness, and then Cosmic Crucible goes back to being the premier game mode of Marvel Strike Force.
Well, hopefully the season's rotating often enough so that once the players figure out, oh, this is the best team, this is the best team in this room, and so on, hopefully by then players we get a new season, because it's going to take a little bit of time for us to figure out what are the optimal teams, optimal rooms, optimal counters, because War was like that in the beginning, and then everybody started using the same things. But with these changes, hopefully by the time people figure out season 4, season 5 is rolling around, then it'll be awesome.
I agree.
Hopefully that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, more Threorycrafting. Say there's more Threorycrafting. I didn't like the cookie cutterness of Apocalypse. We're already seeing more options with the release of super-skrull, going back to Dark Dimension, and then the Nova release was a little more available as well, it seemed like, in some of the other Horsemen. All right, the no hoarding events, we talked about them. There's nothing planned for July. 7 leaderboards were in May, so no more leaderboards. What does this do to the overall morale of the community with less leaderboards?
It seems that there's a split. Now, I think it's a vocal minority that really liked hoarding because it gave them a huge advantage. I think there's more casual players that this benefits. So the temperature I get is that generally people are happy that hoarding is gone, but we have to acknowledge that it was a way for free-to-play, engaged players to compete at a higher level, right? So I think there's kind of those two sides to it, but I think generally people are very happy with the changes.
All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I mean, I'm getting that same vibe. More people are happy than upset, but there's going to be some cases where people are losing out in this. Let me know your thoughts on this. And I think the big thing here is the Players Council has been formed, and I like that it's not just the heavy spenders that are getting their opinions heard. It's heavy spenders, light spenders, non-spenders. I think this is great, and they're going to continue to have a meeting cadence with the Players Council on a schedule. I don't think that's been established yet, or at least not when this blog post was written. And yeah, we've already seen results of that. How big is this compared to some of these other movements we've had in the past? The fix MSF, save MSF. This is something that's permanent as a result of this. So how big is this compared to what we're going to be in relation to what we're seeing in the future for this game?
I think it's definitely bigger than the past movements we've had, because it came from a place of cooperation as opposed to confrontation, and I think that was a big factor in the results that we're seeing in the game right now. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen when Savvy takes over, if they will honor this and honor the no more hoarding and honor the Threorycrafting and all that, because they are making changes that are counterintuitive to frustration spending, right? Which that's good. I think the game grows and you get more spenders than less people quitting who are already spenders, right? So I'm hopeful that it's a very permanent thing. I think it's a very cool thing. I'm excited to see the outcome when we start getting their meetings and how Evdog, Sevi, and Beta Ray Bill are kind of reporting that to everybody. I think it's very good how transparent they are, and yeah, I think it's just it's a big dub.
I think it is as well. I'm very excited about the future of this game. The devs are now listening, more transparency and communicating, and they're still gonna screw stuff up, like the Iso-8 5 and the Nexus going live, things like that. But overall, I think this game is in a much better place and has a much more positive outlook than it has in the past. All right, are you ready for some data mines, Dorky Dad?
Oh, let's go.
All right, so we only have one really impactful one, and let me read this for you in case you haven't, or in case you guys haven't seen this yet. The last opportunity to participate before updates will be during this upcoming run, and this is for the Pestilence Scourge run. The next time you see this Pestilence Scourge run, we'll have the following updates. It's gonna have a new structure. So the leaderboard, rank rewards, and victor's bracket will be permanently removed for a new streamlined structure. I'm gonna read the next part, the detail about that. But what are your initial thoughts on this new streamlined structure? Is it gonna be more player friendly or more grind?
I'm very confused by it, and I'm also out of the loop on like how many shards are in the leaderboards after the initial run where they have the increased shard counts. So I'm wondering if this is more or less shards in the long run.
I'm thinking less shards, but let's read what it says here. Morgan Le Fay shards and additional rewards will be earned via new milestones by hitting specific run scores. So not really, it looks like if you hit that hard score, you're getting this amount of shards. If you hit this score, you're getting the next level of shards. Each milestone will reward enough shards to achieve a star level. Run scores required for each star level can be viewed in the reward section for the event. So I guess we're gonna know the finality of this when the event goes live. Don't miss out on your last chance to earn rank rewards and in the original Pestilence milestones before the updates go live. All right, we don't have a date on this, but it looks like if they're doing this Pestilence, they're going to be doing this all the Horseman events. People have been wanting these to come back for a while. I think they haven't been back, some of these, at least since February. So it's good that they're addressing this. And this could be the reason why they haven't been back in a while. They're changing the whole structure of this. The leaderboards, the rank rewards, all that stuff. Do you think this is going to be a good thing long term, or this is just going to stop players from getting these unlocks faster?
No, actually, I think mathematically this is something that had to have happened eventually, now that I'm thinking about it. So the pool of players that were competing for these leaderboards has shrunk and shrunk every single time Morgan Le Fay has been run, right?
That's a good point. I forgot about that. That's a good point.
Yeah, so now that it's going to be milestone based, instead of, like, say there's only 10,000 players that are left trying to get Morgan Le Fay to 7 stars, will that drop off from the top 50 to like 1 to, or it goes up to 500, does it? And then it goes to like 2 to 10%. Like, we've seen issues in leaderboards because of bad player rank minimums.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a factor that is happening on the Scourge events that they needed to address. So I think this is good. Now it depends what sort of shards you're getting on the milestones. This is very weird wording that each milestone will reward enough shards to achieve a star level. Like, so like every single milestone, so there's gonna be 7 milestones, and by the 7th one you have her at 7-star. Like, how? Yeah, it's just very weird how it works.
And then my other question is, how is it going to add up? So if you got 5 stars, your roster was going to get 5 stars. How is it going to be on the next one? If you don't have their characters strong enough, you're not going to be able to do that 6 or get a score for 7. Or if it's just going to be additive like it is in the future. So hopefully it's the easiest way for players to get more Le Fay shards as possible, and hopefully that makes it easier on players. That's all I hope.
I got to assume that's what they're doing here.
It should be, right? This would be like counter of all their other changes. They're trying to make things more player friendly, and then making this harder would be weird.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works out. Probably. All right. Have you seen the new Disney Plus show Secret Invasion, Dorky Dad?
Yes, up until the episode that came out yesterday.
All right, so we're going to discuss the Secret Invasion show. If you've not seen up to episode 3, so not the episode that came out yesterday, spoiler alert, guys, we're going to discuss everything up into episode 3 in Secret Invasion. So what is your overall thoughts on this? Is this, where does this rank for shows for you compared to some of the other Disney Plus shows with Loki, Miss Marvel, some of these other shows?
That's tough. So I think this show is on a build, and I think as it builds, the final episodes are going to be what defines the success of this show. If we're going just on the 3 episodes that we've seen, it's quite possibly the worst show. But I don't think that's going to remain true. I think it's a build. I think it's a slow build. The pacing seems slow, but it's going to pop. And with Samuel Jackson, I got to believe it's going to pop. But when we think about like WandaVision, like after the first episode of WandaVision, everybody was like, what's going on? What is happening right now? What is this show?
First 3 episodes, I was totally confused with WandaVision.
Yeah, but you were like, I'm hooked.
Yeah, what is he?
For this show, it's like, oh, okay. Like when the first episode ended, I was like, all right. Second episode ended, I was like, I kind of get it. Third episode was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So hopefully the 4th, 5th, and 6th episode is going to be, that let's go. Like it's been very Cloak and Dagger's slow build, and now it seems like it's kind of heading to like the action movie type ending, which is what I'm a meathead, right? Like I'm all about that action. So yeah. I'm hoping that we get a big pop in the second half of the show.
Yeah, so far we haven't had too much superhero-ish type stuff, and more like the setting, the background for what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. All right, there's some deaths in this that I want to talk to you about. Maria Hill, is she gone forever? Marvel Cinematic Universe has brought characters back to life. Yeah. Is Maria Hill really gone in your opinion? Is the character done?
Yeah, well, like you said, we've had a couple of deaths in the show, and I'm thinking, like, have we though? Or are those no-name Skrulls and then like the characters come back? Maria Hill to die like that, look, there's 2 scenarios in my head. It's a clear ploy, and like the real Maria Hill is going to be coming back soon. Like we saw Maria Hill was already being impersonated by a Skrull in No Way Home, I believe it was. No, it was the one before that. With Mysterio, like her and Fury were being impersonated by the Skrulls. So we've already seen that happen before. I wouldn't be surprised if this Maria Hill was also one. And then we also had Agent Ross, like he was in the first episode.
Sort of.
Exactly. So
the actor that plays Agent Ross was in that episode.
Exactly. So we saw that he was a Skrull, but then we also saw later that for them to like inhibit the body of somebody, they need to like touch the forehead or whatever to have all the information. So like, is Ross kidnapped and he's with them with the Skrull base right now, or is that a plot hole and he's still over in Wakanda? Like we don't know. And then we had Gaia, and the fact that like she's done nothing in the show but be stupid. Yeah,
she's gone already, and I to make all that backstory with her and Talos, I think it's kind of weird to kill her off that early. I don't think she's dead. Maria Hill maybe though, unfortunately. I do like that Maria Hill character.
Yeah, okay, so sorry, there's 2 scenarios. 1, it's not real. 2, the actress Colby Smulders is busy with something else, or maybe she's kind of done with the Marvel stuff. She's been doing it for so many years right now. Maybe she was just like, listen, I'll let you guys give my character the send-off so Fury can have an emotional build, the same way that Fury orchestrated Coulson's like when Coulson died, how he had the cards, but that wasn't real, and he threw it to the Avengers. It gave them the let's go get Loki. Yeah. So maybe they're doing that. The writers are doing that with Maria Hill's death for Fury, though he doesn't seem too burnt up about it after the first episode. So yeah, I don't know about that, but
he's a man of no emotion. He doesn't show his happiness or his despair.
Yeah, exactly. But Emilia Clarke, she's been nothing but absolutely stupid. Every decision that she's made has been stupid. And then for her to die this way with no there's not even a moment where Talos is like, my daughter. No, it's just like, bang. It's like, there's no way she's dead like that. She's too big an actress. They use her too much in the promos. She's done nothing but imbecilic activities in this show.
She has a third largest head on this poster that we're looking at here. So yeah, it would be weird to have her gone that early.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think of the revelation? There's thousands and thousands of Skrulls on Earth, and they're leading a lot of the countries out there.
Yeah, so Fury did that, right? he started that. Right. Yeah, he got them all into the positions, and now that they're in those positions, they can get their other comrades in the position. So it's a very cool concept, and I just kind of guessing how the show goes. Fury either has to find a way to take away their ability to shapeshift so that people see who is who, or he's found a planet for them somewhere, and that's what he was doing up in space. So it's got to be something like that, because like you said, this is too crazy that there's thousands of them, and they're in positions of power. So like there's going to be some sort of big conflict resolution that has to happen here.
They could do that thing, just cut off your finger and see if they're real, right? Like the interrogating guy.
Just go to every.
Wait a minute. All right, your finger's good. It's you're human. Sorry, I cut it off.
Yeah, every world leader, give me your index. Let's go.
Be like a Yakuza controlling the world. All right, well, that is it. I think it's a good show. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Marvel Strike Force looks like it's in a much more optimistic place than it's been in the past, and yes, we'll see what happens with these Horseman characters. Any other final thoughts, brother Dorky?
No, I got nothing. This was a lot of fun as always. I'm happy to see that you're back from your vacation and back in the swing of things.
Yes.
I needed something to listen to like every day when I go for the walk. I need that Valley in my head. Like, where is his podcast? Let's go.
I'm glad you kept the game alive while I was gone, because
that's an overstatement.
Before the Players Council, it would have been like, I hope there's still a game when I get back. But yes, awesome stuff there. We're gonna go to your channel and talk about war, right?
Yes, sir. Let's have it.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to check out what are the best characters to use your dark promo credits on, make sure you check out this video. If not, I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure you check out Dorky's channel, his Twitch, and everything. The links are going to be down below. Ready for that Hulk fist bump, Dorky?
I've been waiting for weeks, man.
All right, here we go. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin, Dorky Dad out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.